Hey, it's Allie Edwards, and I am back for December Daily Day 11. Another simple, super easy page idea for you guys today. I'm in the middle of lots of other things I have due. One of the products that we offered in the shop this year is a set of envelopes. They're plastic envelopes, and this is one of them. This is the full page one. They come together. There's this one, there's a red 3x8, and then the other one looks like this, which I have in here saved for another day. The story that I want to tell today is about Christmas lists, at least kids' Christmas lists, and this is something that I generally like to include in this album. I've done it different ways in different years. Some years I've invited the kids to write out a list on a tag. That's a super fun and easy way to do it. You get their handwriting. That's a great piece of basically adding in another voice is what I call that. Depending on how old your kids are, or depending on if you have kids. If you don't have kids, this could just be the story of your own Christmas wishes this year, or your own Christmas list, or things that you would like to have. Because our kids here are getting a lot older, their lists are significantly different than they were when they were younger, and they come to me a variety of different ways. I've got four of the kids. Isaac is the only one that I have missing. And let me show you what these look like, and then talk a little bit about why I'm choosing to just go super simple. First, let me tell you one other idea I had. Because this is the next page in here, I know that I want to pair this with this here, and we're, like I think I said at some point, we're getting cupcakes delivered that are already made, but then you get to decorate them, and I know that I want to use this for that, so I'm kind of trying ways to move into that. So I consider just putting a pocket, like making stitching a transparency, or stitching a piece of plastic on here. This is still totally something that you could do, like a half-page one, and then I could simply tuck these different lists inside. So that is something that is possible. I don't know yet. I thought about doing that, and then I was like, oh, but then I could just use the envelope, and that's a lot simpler. So we can kind of talk about both ideas here. The envelope obviously is just a twist like this, and then you can slip things in here. So these are great for putting anything in there that you would want to collect over the course of the month. Also, if you are a subscriber to our story kits, you have envelopes like this that are each month, and you can always just punch holes and add this in as well. Definitely up to you. These, I think, have worked really well over the last couple of years to be able to hold things. And actually, this one from day 9, this is one of those envelope pages, I think from last year, that I ended up cutting down to that. But I love, again, the idea of having something simple and quick and easy, and that every page doesn't have to be a long story. And this is part of what I think for me makes it doable over the course of the month too, is being able to just be like, yeah, today is just, I'm going to slip things in the pocket. So Christmas list this year, Anna is the only one that decided to handwrite something. She handwrote it, and she highlighted the things that were the most important, and some of the things that she, I think, knew that she wasn't going to get. These kids have gotten significantly smarter over the years. With multiple households, they now target their ask. They don't ask for the same thing from every household, which is what they used to do, right? They had one Christmas list. Now they're like, okay, I'm going to ask for this from Mom and Aaron, and I'm going to ask for this from Dad and Tiff. And, you know, it's been funny, I think, to watch that develop over the years. So I've got this one from Anna. This is what Simon texted me earlier, of the three things that he wanted, the three main things. He's also told me other things over the course of the month. Mostly they are Star Wars books or Star Wars related stuff. Audrey sent me screenshots of clothes that she wanted. She also has a birthday this month, so that plays into this as well. But these were some of the specific things that she wanted. I thought that this would be cute to add in there. And I really just, what I did for this page is I took the screenshots that she sent me, and I on my computer just dragged and dropped those images into a new file. You could print each one of these out and make a fun collage as well too. These are just, again, the things that she asked for. She asked for some other things too, and so I might, what I'm thinking of for hers, I may just trim this off and then leave this space blank, and when they're back here later today, then I could have her write that in. And maybe Simon would fill in some more if he wants to. If he doesn't want to, that's fine too. And then Elliot had a list. His list came from the Notes app. I think I might write some of those things on here too. So he sent actually these notes to me, to Aaron, to his mom, those kinds of things. But I liked the combination of the things that were on his list and then some of the images. Lots of headphones, lots of tech stuff around here. Definitely a piece of the way that we are living. So the other things that I'm thinking about doing, I'm gonna add one of the chipboard numbers here just onto the top of the envelope, and then I'm just putting Santa list on there. Those are using the word phrase stickers, chipboard phrases. And then I was also going to put, I had this, something that says on the nice list, and yes, what was the other one? I had it lit on there. I'll figure it out. It was like on the nice list, and then there was something else that it was kind of funny. I'm gonna have to see if I can figure that out. I wasn't gonna put, it was like, currently on the nice list. That's what I was gonna do. See those two, currently, and then on the nice list. So basically the story concept here for today is Santa lists, right? Or wish lists, or those kinds of things. We are sponsoring a family this year too, and so I'm kind of thinking a little bit about what is a way that I could document that story. We're waiting for some of the things to come in before we take care of wrapping that and getting that off to those people. So that's another kind of thing that I'm thinking about. But I like just being able to work right on top of the envelope. Again, if you don't have the envelope, you can make your own pocket with the transparency. You can stitch around the outside. You could use a fuse tool. There's so many different options. And so what I'm going to do with these is I'm literally just going to trim them down a little bit and then slip them into the pocket there. Probably maybe fold them up a little bit. Again, you can totally take this, the list idea or the wish list idea a lot farther if you want it to be more designed, I guess would be the word I'm trying to say, more designed or more fancier. I don't even know if that's the right word, but this is what I needed for a story today, was to just be a little bit simpler. So I'm going to think of a way to designate who each one of these belongs to, and maybe I'll see if Aaron has a list from Isaac as well. Isaac is really into computers and building computers, and so the things that he wanted this year were all related to building a PC, which, as many of you guys know, we are not a PC family generally. We are Mac people. Lots of Macs around here. All right, so I've got my 4 things here, or actually, you know what I think I'll probably do? I'm gonna use those tabs. I've used them a few different times here. I'm just gonna find those tabs and let's see. I can stamp the kids' initials on there is kind of what I'm thinking. Let's see. Could also always use those, so maybe I'll leave those out. I'm looking for, okay, so here's the tabs. Included in that tab set, if you picked that up, were white ones, and these ones you can stamp on. And we also have these, I believe, as part of our Storytelling Basics collection. So they're gonna have to fold. So, or different ones are going to have different things, but my plan here is to just, and you could make these way more sturdy too. Like this could have patterned paper. You could turn it into a little booklet. Like each one of them could get a different design treatment if you wanted to do more. I had started out with a small wood stamp set, and that one was falling apart. So I went back through my stamp sets and found this fun one that we originally had with the type story kit. We'll see if we still have some of these available. But I'm just stamping initials using that stamp set, and stays on directly onto the tabs. And as you'll see in a minute here, I'm going to end up doing that for each kid. All right, so I decided to just pull out some pattern papers and see what I have. I don't have a lot of Christmas pattern paper, which is fine generally, but I think that I could use some of these, and I don't even know what the sources will be on many of these, but I think this is what I want to do here, is just have it be a little bit stronger. And obviously this is turning out to be not as super simple as I was making it out to be, but you can skip all this part, right, and just add these in there if that's what you want to. I kind of like that each one of these becomes almost like its own individual little booklet, and I'll try to incorporate some of these. They're just a little bit too small for some of these. Okay, this is fun because it's also just a fun little opportunity to add, you know, something else here if you want as well. You can add it on the outside, almost like a little title for each one. I'm gonna finish the rest of this part first. So like Simon's, you know, I just need a little piece of paper, so I could use any of these. I'll use like the Fa La La one. So here I am going ahead and just adhering some of the additional pattern paper, and I'm going to do that for each one of these 4 separate things, as well as, or the 4 separate lists, as well as creating the little tabs for each one using that stamp set and the Stays On ink. I didn't worry too much about what pattern paper I picked for these. I picked some that I just had in my stash, some that was from the main kit this year. And like I said in the video, I don't have a ton of Christmassy pattern paper, like large size pattern paper. So I just picked out a couple that made sense. Stars make sense. That's a pattern paper from Vicky Booten for the outside of Audrey's. If you're doing these, you could obviously use the same patterns for each one or mix it up, and it could be very dependent upon the person. You could take this way farther, I guess, is my messaging. That continues to be my messaging today. I love the small stamp set. Super fun, super easy to use with the great typewriter font on there. On most of these tabs, I also end up going in and stapling them with the tiny attacher. I always like the texture that the staple brings, but I also just want to make sure it stays on there as well. Going ahead and adhering Elliot's for the back of his, I am using the tree pattern paper that was in the main kit and folding it over in half. I found that it was easier to just adhere part of the paper first, and then after I folded it, then adhere the second portion down on the pattern paper to the piece that was printed. Finishing up with the tab there again and again, a staple. And then I was trying to figure out what else did I want to add on here? And I thought of a few different things. I decided to start with a metal rimmed circle tag. Those are something that I've loved to use for years. They're an easy office supply to pick up. Things that can go on top of them, you could do chipboard circles. If you have a 1-inch circle punch, you can punch out pattern paper and put it on there. I thought about adding on the paint or the white wood veneer stars that were in the star kit. I almost used those with the pattern paper and had it created a little layered section like that. But then I remembered that I had the fabric circles from the main kit. And so I pulled out the fabric circles that have adhesive on the back of them and just added that onto the circle. It's just basically like a little bit of a title to have on each one, totally not necessary. Again, you have so many different choices when you come to this point, and you can stop at any place along the way and call it good and feel confident in that decision that it's just fine, right? I think that's an important thing for all of us to remember. All right, so I think those turned out cute. Just a fun, funny or fun little way to add a little bit of decoration on there. And then the last thing here is just to adhere these things together and on top of here. And then I'm just gonna slip all of these into the envelope. Let's go ahead and adhere onto the star first. And I'm just using, again, the chipboard pieces from the main kit, and the star and the number and the perforated strip. Those are all included in the main kit this year. So then, like I said, I will add on or add in Isaac's if we get that, but just a fun way, again, a fun way to, a fun and easy way to add some stuff into your album. And I'm pretty sure that these envelopes are still available if you want one for this year or maybe for a future year. All right, that is a look at day 11, and we'll see you back here again for day 12 tomorrow.